So it finishes Manchester City 3, Manchester United 1. Let's just take a look at what that means for the league table and the title race. Goodness me, it's going to be exciting, isn't it? 1 point separates City and Liverpool, of course, at Anfield next weekend. Those two teams face off. Arsenal sitting third. They're in action against Sheffield United on Monday. Let's get some reaction now, shall we, to that defeat for Manchester United. Here's Ten Hag.
Resi confirmed to me there was contact, and I saw it back. It was very soft, but I understand and you will understand when you are in a full speed run and you get a little touch, then you are out of control, and that I think that's what's happened. We have many problems now in injuries, and still we had an opportunity because it was a really small margin. As I say, we could have scored the second goal. We could have scored the second goal in a debatable moment. From January, we scored many goals. So I think we're really progressing on that side. Our front line is absolutely a threat. I think we were really close to win, or at least get a draw here.
As promised, Stewart Robson has joined us, who smells lovely, by the way, today. Before we get into Ten Hag's comments, just the game overall, Stevie. It was fascinating just to see how it all played out, wasn't it? Manchester United did well in the first half, and then it all kind of fell apart after the break.
Well, I had Chelsea in my brain. I was thinking this could be another Chelsea. Man United completely and totally pinned in their own box. And they get the break and they get the goal, and it's all of a sudden they've got something to run around now and challenge and press the ball. But the big picture, they got battered. They got battered. Ten Hag's on about, well, we could have won the game or even... They had one shot on goal. Come on. If you want to look at little isolated incidents, then yes. Had that been the other way around, Man City probably get a foul on the Rashford one. But at the same time, big picture, my goodness, Onana could be the man of the match for Man United. And if your goalie's your man of the match, that tells you all you need to know. They got, in football terms, this was men against boys. But you got to give them credit. They stuck at it.
That's it. So it's like FA Cup third round, isn't it? Well, they went, they were brave, they stuck at it. They put up a fight. This is pathetic. It's Manchester United.
I'll be honest. I thought Manchester United were better than I was expecting them to be. I thought this would be all one-way traffic. But I thought, man, you saw what the game plan was. To sit deep, three banks, a 4-3-3, very, very few or very small spaces in between those banks, and force or try to frustrate Manchester City, and then try to utilise Rashford and Garnacho on the counter-attack. And they had opportunities, not just the goal. Garnacho was clean through once. Rashford had another good opportunity as well, where he got the other side of Walker earlier on before that first goal for Manchester City. So it may have worked. Again, more kind of United frustrating the opponent, as you saw against Liverpool, as opposed to Manchester United just beating the opponent for football. Once the half-time break came, you knew that Pep Guardiola was going to make changes. Erik Ten Hag and Man United did not. It was more of the same. And in the end, just City's quality shone through.
Why did it work in the first half and not the second?
It didn't really work in the first half.
OK.
Manchester City, Haaland missed a chance that he's never going to miss ever again.
Yep.
It's a great chance for him. Kevin De Bruyne was running the game. He's playing little 1-2s. They're crossing the ball in the box. The only thing that worked for Manchester United was they got a great goal to start with, and it gave them something to cling on to when balls were played into the box. The two centre-halves did all right. Lindelof did OK, getting in the way of shots. Onana did OK. But in terms of the general play, Manchester City were miles better than Manchester United. And only a bit of luck and some good goalkeeping and a couple of centre-halves that got blocks in. Any manager in the world can say, well, let's get 10 men behind the ball and defend in numbers and let's make it difficult. They didn't really make it difficult, apart from the last shot, the last finish, because Man City completely dominated. And Guardiola said after the game, we were much better in the first half than we were in the second half.
What do you make of Ten Hag's comments saying that United could have won it?
No, absolute rubbish. The goal they scored was a great goal from Rashford, but it started with Man City being a bit sloppy, with Onana kicking the ball long, Bruno Fernandes getting in, and he sets up Rashford. Man City at times took a gamble to try and play a high offside line when they didn't really need to, because the only player that was going to try and run in behind them was Bruno Fernandes, and the two other players, the fast players, were playing out wider. I just can't see how they can ever think that they were a match for Man City and how they could have won the game. Man City were miles better.
Do you really think that Ten Hag is convincing anybody that the way we set up nearly worked? They had no choice. He could have set up whatever way he wanted to,
right,
and they would have had no choice. They would have had to defend what Man City were doing. End of story. And that means getting 10 men behind the ball. So we set up to do this and we set up to do that nonsense. They got battered.
So is it not Ten Hag's fault? Is it literally the personnel? Just Manchester United players are not good enough to compete against a team like Manchester City?
The second question is absolutely easy peasy answer. Yes. And the first one, I think to begin with, in Ten Hag's tenure, you could blame the players more than him. But let's be honest, we've been listening to some nonsense coming from him all season. And the fact he actually did it again today. He got beat at Fulham, again he got outplayed, and he said that big picture, we're moving forward with positives. And he had the gall to turn around after this game and say the same thing. We're getting better. I mean, come on, seriously. Does he think we're all daft? And if he really believes that, then absolutely he's the wrong man.
What did you make of the Walker-Rashford challenge ahead of the equaliser?
Well, for me, Rashford scored a great goal, but his general performance was pretty poor, and to go down that easily was pathetic.
Right.
You know, and it might have been a slight touch in. And Ten Hag was trying to say that people that don't play the game wouldn't know that, you know, if you're going to that
because he's
space,
moving
yeah, so fast. And any little nudge, you fall over. He fell over far too easily. And he's got to stay on his feet. It's a great opportunity. He's in behind Walker or down the side of Walker. Stay on your feet, keep the ball. So, yeah, I think it sums up the way Rashford has played in recent weeks.
What do you think, Stevie?
I think it was the other way around. Probably the referee would have given it.
So it was a foul?
Well, listen, if you put your hand on somebody and pull them back, then it's a foul. And then the argument as well, is it strong enough? Is it soft enough? Is it not? So, yeah, but at the end of the day, I think part of the problem the referee never gave it is because Rashford made such drama out of a little thing that convinced him that he was looking for it. And I'm with Robbo. You're one-on-one with Walker, you get past Walker, you're in on goal. Why are you even thinking about going down?
Why are we even talking about it? Like, it's such a small part, and as much as Manchester United fans might want to hang their hat on that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
listen, Manchester United...
It's not why they lost the game. Sorry, Shaka.
Yeah.
No problem. United and the fans don't have an awful lot to hang their hat on, to use your phrase, today, certainly. I think if it's at Old Trafford, you can make the argument that Manchester United get that call. Had the referee given the foul, everybody says, well, it's a soft foul, but you move on quite quickly. To see City go down the other end and score straight away, of course, if you're a Manchester United fan, that kind of rubs you the wrong way, and you can't help but wonder what if. But we've played this game, and there's home field advantage, and this kind of sums it up.
But it was inevitability, yeah? City were going to score at some stage.
I was watching the game with Ali earlier on, and after 20 minutes, I think it could be one of those games where everything is going to just be wide, or the keeper's going to have
Haaland miss kind of thing.
Yeah, and you think, I mean, they're dominating the game. So, you know, every time you got the ball in and around the box, there's a chance. There's a last-minute block. He doesn't quite hit the target. Doku was making some mistakes out on the left-hand side and didn't really affect the game. So you thought it could be one of those games where they have 36 shots and don't score, and they're just unlucky. But eventually, once they scored that first goal, there was only going to be one.
And what a goal it was from Phil Foden, who's having arguably his best ever season as a professional football at City. 18 goals, 10 assists. He's contributed then, if you add those two up, to 28. Pep Guardiola was asked after the game if he is the best player in the Premier League.
He is right now, this season, yeah. I've been the best so far. Always had the feeling to score goals. In the training sessions, always had the feeling. But now it's winning games. So to become a world-class player at that age, you had to win games. And always play good, always have incredible work ethic. It doesn't matter the position, no complaint. He lives to play football, but now he's winning games.
Best in the Premier League?
As good as there is at the moment. And he's absolutely right. Whenever he got the ball today, you expected something to happen.
Yeah.
You know, that, when you're looking at a game, you think, who's going to make something happen? Foden, playing on the right-hand side, because he can play on the left, he can play as a number 10, but he was playing on the right today and cutting in on his left foot as he scored the goal. Then he moved across for the second goal. But when he had the ball, along with Kevin De Bruyne, you think something's going to happen. They're two magnificent players at the moment.